Good morning, students. Now we are going to discuss about of third unit, embedded firm design approaches, and the next one is embedded development languages, and next one is DMA, direct memory access, and the last one is concept of C versus embedded C, right? And the last one is compiler versus cross compiler. So here we are going to discuss about of how we can design an embedded firmware and what are the approaches we are going to follow. The two types of approaches are available. First one is loop based approach and second one is OS based approach. The two types of approaches are available. So here we are going to learn how we are going to develop an embedded firmware, and here embedded firmware development languages. So which are the languages that are supported to develop an embedded firmware? So for example, I would like to develop one embedded firmware. So in which coding language that it can be possible to develop an embedded firmware, whether it may be C programming or maybe embedded C programming or maybe .NET, like several types of languages are available. So we are going to check whether which type of language is supported to develop embedded firmware. Next one is direct memory access, DMA. So as you already learned about of DMA in microprocessors and microcontrollers, so how you are accessing memory directly without having any subroutes. So memory is nothing but it may be ROM using RAM, right? And the next one is here you need to compare what are the differences between C language and embedded C language. So if it is a concept of C language, you are already familiar about of C, which is the software that it can be used to develop C code, that is a turbo C. So if it is an embedded C program, that is KIEL, Kiel software, will support it to implement this embedded C, and which are the compilers are available to execute this C language and embedded C language, and what are the differences between compiler and cross compiler, why we are using compilers and where we are using cross compilers. We'll have a look over here itself. So now we are going to learn about of concepts of C versus embedded C. So now we have some of the concepts which are similar in C and embedded C, but the notation or the representation in terms of C and embedded C are having little bit variances. Let's have a look, right? So first one, what is C program? So C program will be introduced by Dennis Ritchie in Bell Laboratories. So it is the name of scientist Dennis Ritchie. So in Bell Laboratories 1972, he was tried to program the entire language using C only, coding language. Okay, the language which can be proposed by Dennis Ritchie is C, will support high level language and assembly level languages. So it can generate, I mean by using C level language you can generate a code by using high level language and assembly level language, and both the language, I mean high level and assembly level, can be implemented by using C language. So most of the time whenever you need to implement high level and assembly level, then this is strictly for the purpose of business development. Business development means, so for example, business development means some client has given one project to that particular company, then for reducing the code length and for improving the code efficiency of output, they may combine both of these languages. That is nothing but just business development. And later on, C was developed to write Unix operating systems also, right? So C, initially it is a C program. It can be high level language and assembly level language it will support. By doing some modifications or by adding some features, it can support Unix OS also, Unix operating systems also. And most of the time these Unix operating system platforms will support only specific operating systems. Specific means only few, at least like ASICs, application specific integrated circuits. Only any one of the circuit can be implemented by using OS, Unix. Okay? And how you are implementing by using high level language or how you are implementing by using assembly level language, that's always strictly depends upon which the procedure that you are following and what are the functions that you are implementing and which are the modules that can support the functions to execute. Based on these three parameters only, it's completely based on these three parameters. What is the procedure that you are following, which are the functions that you are implementing, and what are the modules that are supporting to implement these functions and procedures. Based on these three only, any one of the language can be implemented or at the same time can be developed to support the upgraded versions. So here we have the differences between C and embedded C. Let's have a look. First one is C is a general purpose language. What is meant by general purpose language? So there is no need of any specific purpose. There is no need of any specific purpose. It always develops based on general purpose only. But if it is an embedded C program, it is an extension of C. Means it is not only C program. You have to add some features or some advanced features. Some advanced features. That's what exactly we used to call it as extension of C programming language. So whenever you need to implement these advanced features, then only you will going to choose embedded C programming. If you don't want any advanced features support, then C programming is enough. There is no need to go for embedded C programming. Then C programming is enough. The primary difference is it is a general purpose language, that is a specific purpose language. And the second one is it is used to design any type of desktop based applications. So C programming, it is used to design any type of desktop based. Desktop is nothing but our personal computer, PC. So you can implement any applications by using PC, using personal computer or desktop, right? For those type of applications only C program will be preferable. Means it won't support any real-time applications, nothing like that. Only it will support to design PC based applications. Means you can install any one of the software over here itself and you can compile it and then you can execute it. For those type of applications, C is always preferable. While it is coming to embedded C, it is always used to develop microcontroller based applications. Means embedded C is not for general purpose. We already learned about this one, previous one. So it's not for general purpose. It's only for specific purpose only we can use embedded C. So specific means separate. Separately for any one advanced applications. Whenever you need to implement any one advanced application, then you need to take the support of microcontroller, because These are the microcontrollers mostly supported to implement ASICs. ASICs is nothing but application specific integrated circuit, which will be implemented for one particular purpose. That is nothing but AC, application specific. There is one specific applications available, and based on that you need to manufacture or fabricate one separate IC. Then only you will go for any one of the microcontrollers, right? So here C programming is designed for PC based applications, and here if it is an embedded C programming, it will be supported for microcontroller based applications. And the next one is C language is not hardware dependent, because we know this is always PC based. For example, as we already know about of C programming language, which is the software that it will support to implement in PC, that is Turbo C, right? So which is the software to implement any one of the program, and it will support to execute or compile any one of the programming in Turbo C. So there is no need of any hardware support. Need of hardware support. I don't want any hardware support. If it is a PC available, that's enough for me. And along with PC, I just need one software which is named as Turbo C. So this is not only the software. There may be a chance to you will get some more softwares also, but most familiarly we will use Turbo C to compile or to implement any one of the program which is available in C programming. So there is no need of any hardware. But while it is coming to C programming, you already in the previous point, embedded C programming is always depends on, or always whenever you need to implement, you need the support of microcontroller. Means microcontroller itself, it is a hardware. It is a component, right? So it is a hardware component. Itself, it is a hardware component. Whenever you are implementing in C, no need of hardware, but whenever you need to implement in embedded C, it's always depends on hardware only. So if you are using microcontroller 8051, then the program will be different. So if you are using, okay, I don't want 8051, I'll go for 8255, program peripheral interface. Okay, then the programs between 8051 and 8255 quite differs, because the internal structure and the inbuilt component pin structure will be different with 8051 and 8255. Both are having different structures. So for example, I would like to implement one application with 8051. So one application, okay? The same 8051 I am using to implement some other second application. Then there may be a chance to get comparison with these two programs, 8051 and 8051 first and second applications. There is a similarity of 60%, because the pin structure of 8051, both are 8051, here also you are using 8051 only. So the pin structure is same for both first application and second application. Rest of remaining 40% is differs, because the logic of first application and second application may not be the same. So obviously, which is the software, either it may be a microcontroller or it may be ASICs, and which are the pins, what are the pin structures, everything will always important for embedded C programming. If it is C programming, there is no need to bother about which hardware that you are using. And the next one is the same program. This one is no need to bother about of hardware. Which hardware that you are using, whether you are using 8085 or whether using 8051 or whether using TMC 3XX52C or whether using Spartran. So this is a microprocessor, and this is a microcontroller, and this is a DSP processor, and this Spartran is a Xilinx processor. So even it is a microprocessor, this is microcontroller, this is DSP processor, digital signal processor, and this is Xilinx. Even it may differs individually also. It don't want to bother whenever you are writing a program in C programming. It is not hardware independent. It is a hardware independent. It's not a dependent. But while it is coming through, whenever you are programming with embedded C 8085, it is having one type of programming. Let it may be A. And if it is a microcontroller 8051, it is having one more type B. Or you are having same DSP TMC 3500TXX. It is a series, so it is having one more different type. Or else Spartan SE250, it is having one more different type, depending upon the hardware which that you are using in programming. The entire structure and the considerations will be changed. That is why this is always hardware dependent. Here they don't want to bother about of which hardware that you are using to implement your hardware. Next one, for C language, standard compilers can be used to compile and execute the program. So that's what exactly I have taken, that is taken for compiler, this Turbo C. It may be one of the compiler which will implement and which will compile the program and give us the errors. So standard compiler means why there is no need of modify the compilers. Whichever it may be the program and how much lengthy program you can write, Turbo C is enough to compile the program and gives the errors, where the errors is going to be executing in that program. While it is coming from embedded C, needs some specific compilers that are able to generate hardware based output, because here you need KEIL, KEIL. It is a software which will implement and find the errors which are available with a program written by embedded C. But whenever you need to dump dump program output into hardware as input. So I just written one program and the program has been compiled and I'll get 0 errors and 0 warnings. Then I would like to find the output, so I'll go for simulation purpose, and then once I'll simulate it, I'll got my output also in software itself only. Once I got my entire output in software, my output is, if it is 100% perfect, then I am ready to implement the same program and execute in hardware. So I would like to send the same program output is nothing but which is a software output. The same software output send to the hardware as input. So this software output, simulated output, will become the input for this particular hardware. Which is the hardware that you are using over here? That's the major question arises there, because without knowing the hardware, whether it may be a 8051 or it may be a 8085 or it may be a TMC 320CXX or it may be Spartan, whichever it may be the series, depends upon the hardware basis, the simulators which that you are using to implement embedded C program will differs, right? If it is a C program, only standard compilers is enough. And next one is when you need to write a full program from scratch while developing C language code. So whenever you need to write a program, you need to start with stdio.h. So it is a standard statement when you are writing a program from using C language programming, right? So if you need to write any program, you have to start with this one only. There is no need to modify the program. Once if you want to, for example, I have written, so void main. Once main is opens, and I would like to declare the integers, characters, variables, and then I'll go for printf and lat of a scanf and then lat of a logic, right? So whenever I'm writing any one of the program over here in compiler, let it may be a Turbo C, so which is a standard, S-T-N-D-A-R-D, standard compiler for C programming. So I'll just choose to implement my program in C. So I have written one program. Whenever you need to write the entire program, you need to scratch while developing a C code. Scratch is nothing but entire program has to, once it's started compiling, starting over here from the statement 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there may be a chance to get up to 10 lines of a program. Whenever fifth statement is executing, you can't able to stop your program execution. But if it is an embedded C programming, compiler generates some initial codes automatically based on the selected microcontroller. That's what we used to call it as predefined statements. Predefined statements. Whenever you are using your Xilinx software, these predefined statements will be displayed in blue color. Only blue color only they will show. Let's have an example over here itself. For example, I am writing one program in VHDL because I would like to implement this code using Xilinx only. So library IEEE. Then library will be in blue color. Next, use standard logic underscore 1164. It is a library dot all. So this is a standard logic of 1164, and in this directory, which are the libraries are available, all libraries has to call off over here itself. Then this will be in blue color only. And next one is, I'll start with entity. So it's simply a program name. For example, I would like to write full adder. FA, full adder is, so FA is not a command because it is not predefined one. So this will be in black color. And entity, it is a predefined function. So this will be available in blue color. Likewise, whenever you are writing an entire program, all the program will show some of the elements of blue color. For example, I have an AND gate. I need to calculate the output of AND gate. So C is my output and A is my input and B is my one more input. So then whenever you're writing a command like this, this will be displayed in blue color. Why it is blue? Because by writing A and D AND only without any spaces, then it will perform the AND operation in between A and B. So usually we will have, my output is C, right? So C, this is my output, A and B, okay, and this is my output is C. So whenever I am giving 0 0, output is 0, and 0 1, output is 0. Whenever 0 0, this is 0. Whenever both the inputs are high, then only output is high. This will be your final output, right? So for example, the same thing, the same truth table can be represented in graphical representation. That's what exactly AND gate. So whenever writing a program in embedded C program, it's always based on microcontrollers. At the same time, each and every microcontroller, let it may be 8051 or let it may be 8255 or it may be 89A51 or else Atmel 8051 or 8055, 8059, whichever it may be the microcontroller, each and every individual microcontroller having individual programming structure and individual predefined functions. So predefined function is nothing but a function which can be implemented the internal meaning of that function. So simply AND, here writing it is usually A and D AND. Whenever you are writing in terms of capital letters, then it will perform the AND operation in between A and B. If you write or, then this or is a predefined function. Again, it will perform the operation between A and B, but the operation is not AND. It will perform OR gate only. Same as C program does not have any predefined functions. For example, you need to implement for loop. For entire for loop, you have to describe over here itself, but there you need to write any for loop. Whenever you are writing any program in C, for example, you would like to implement convolution, then you directly write. So you need to write one for loop. So I equals to 0, I is in incremental operation, and I is less than or equals to 5. For example, it may be the one of the operation. Then I has to check for 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and less than or equals to 5. So it has to check for 5 also, and then the corresponding output has to be displayed. The same thing can be implemented in embedded C. They'll directly like a statement conv, that's enough. Directly it will implement the operation whichever the convolution operation it is. No need to write entire description of each and individual variable which will perform by the operation. Next one. Here we are using standard functions like printf and scanf, etc. for input and outputs. So why we are using printf? Why we are using printf? Simply displaying the output, right? Displaying the output only. Whatever it may be the output function, whatever it may be available along with the function, it will display. Same as what about scanf? So it is always checks the ampersand. Sorry. So it always check the ampersand, parenthesis, high priority orders. Functions can be implemented with scanf. Means whichever it may be the input and whichever it may be the function which is available with this f of t or n or 1 x or something else, whichever it is, and you don't want to bother about of what is the function also. Just print means whichever that it is available along with the function, it has to be display, and scan means it has to check whether it is which are having high priority parenthesis, high priority operations that could be first priority, that could be given first priority. While coming to embedded systems, functions may not work directly. Entire operation has to be executed on sequential execution or concurrent. So sorry, this one is sequential and this is concurrent. Concurrent execution. Next one is C language compilers generate OS dependent executable files. Means the output of C language always display. For this display, operating systems always supports. So whichever it may be, the output can be generated by using C programming that can be displayed by OS. While it is coming to embedded systems, compilers generate hardware dependent files only, because it will not support software outputs. It will not support software outputs. It always supports hardware outputs. Means, I think you might guess, because here we are applying input as software output. So it will not accept graph as your output. It need to perform the actions by using the hardware which is available. So embedded systems input is software, output will becomes an input for here, and it has to perform some actions in hardware, and the corresponding output also it has to represent in hardware only. It will not show as software graph. The next one is, while using C language, reading, modifying, bus fixing are very easy. So why it is easy? Reading, having all the functions which are available with the C programming is our standard ones. Means from day 1 program to day 100, 200, day 300, after getting 10 years also the statement seems to be same as like that only. So reading is easy. Once you can understand, then you can modify any one of the statement, depends upon your requirement basis. Once you are modifying, you know how to modify also, you can fix the bug. Bug is nothing but it's not error, but it is one type of error. So where the error lies, that is bug fixing. So you can fix the bug over here very easily wherever it is. But while it is coming to embedded systems, it's not that much of easy to read, because here it is available to perform in high level language and assembly level language also. Both are having this. So it is not that much of easy to read entire scheme, and it's not easy to understand also. So without having proper knowledge in machine level language, you can't able to read the program, you can't able to modify the program, and you can't able to fix the bugs over here itself also. But here all the statements are standard ones. Means wherever it is, integer means you can prefer int a equals to 10. So from the starting of in first statement to entire, for example, you have a program of 1000 lines. So from first line to entire last line, wherever a is there, the value of a is 10 only. That is an integer. It would be treated as an integer only. It is a standard statement. But without having machine level language knowledge, you can't able to read, you can't able to understand, and then you can't able to modify, you can't able to fix the bugs also over here itself in embedded C programming. And the last one is, as I already discussed about of compilers which are available with C, is Turbo C. So one of the best one which is available in Turbo C, and this is Intel C++ which will support for Visual Basic also. Visual Basic also. So this is an extension of C, that is C++, right? So here two softwares are available, or two compilers are available. First one is Turbo C, and then second one is Intel C. Turbo C will supposed to execute C and C++, but Intel C++ will support for all C++ applications along with extension of any C language supports. But while it is coming to embedded C, as I already told you now, so Keil is the major tool to implement and to compile all the programs available in embedded C. And here you have one more thing is Greenhill, etc. Greenhill is one more software or one more compiler to compile the programs which are available in embedded C, and it has to find the errors, and then those errors has to be displayed. Based on those errors basis, we have to analyze the program, and then we have to modify the program. Thank you.